Welcome to this week's video where I had every intention of doing a garden video, but my plans quickly changed, so I don't have as much gardening content in this week's vlog. I think today is the day. Apologies about all the noise in the background. I do have some builders upstairs, which I will explain later on in the video. I think today is the day the Dahlias get cut back because it was cold last night and there's a storm coming. So now that it's November, I could drag it out for another week or two, but we are getting close to frosty time. So yeah, I'm going to do this bed. I'm going to deadhead the last of the flowers on them, and then I'm going to cut the back and I'm going to mulch this bed. So you can see it's getting quite all that lovely. Yeah, the garden is not looking as good as it did during summertime. When it comes to your dahlias, they don't like the frost, and that's what kills them, and also being left in really wet soil. Some people will lift them. If you are in a growing zone where you get a lot of frost in winter, I would recommend lifting them. Any of the ones that are in pots, I put them in the greenhouse. But the ones that are in the ground, I cut them back and then I thickly mulched them. This is going to be my second year to do this. So I experimented last year. But what I will say is, it's a bit risky. I could have a really bad winter and then my dahlias are gone. Ideally, you would take cuttings from your dahlias so that you have them as a bit of an insurance policy. It's too late, I think, in the season to be doing cuttings. It's kind of something for autumn time or August time. There is pros and cons to both. If you lift up your dahlia, you can check the health of the tubers. You may be able to divide the tubers as well and get more dahlias. It really comes down to you, what you want to do. But if you are somewhere where you get an awful lot of snow and frost, I would recommend lifting them. Also, if you have them in pots, I would put them in a sheltered area away from a lot of water, because they'll rot if they're left in really soggy soil. So they are, I think, a Mexican plant. So they do like, drainage, warmth, sunshine. So if you do have some in pots, enjoy them for the last little while with flowers on them, but keep an eye on the frost and pop them into a sheltered spot or mulch them thickly and cut them back. I made a mistake. I left the kittens. I've only been outside, I'd say about 20 minutes, and I put the kittens in the kitchen. And I was like, checking on my way, I just looked in the window, I was like, where are they? They're hiding in the corner because I didn't realise the noise that would terrify them. So I've had to abandon mulching the dahlias, and I think I might bring them into the living room, because I thought the kitchen would be great because you've got water, toilet, space. But no, I'm going to bless them. I'm going to have to pause. And do you want to go inside and watch a movie with me? Yeah, because I think the noise is terrifying them. Thankfully, the kittens were not too traumatized, and once I brought them into one of the quieter rooms, gave them some food and some cuddles, they forgave me for leaving them with the noisy builders. First of all, how pretty are them leaves? Second of all, a little bit of a building site, but I wanted to show you because the guys have just gone on their lunch break, and I wanted to show you inside before they come back, because I think they're going to lay the floor when they come back. So here is all of the storage that has not been utilized. So this is behind my bathroom. So there used to be a door in here behind this, but obviously there's a toilet now. And that's when I discovered there was all this space, because the builder who did the bathroom at the time, he specialises in bathrooms, and he was saying, yeah, there's loads of space in dormer bungalows, in these knee walls. So something I was worried about doing with this job is there's obviously pipes and there is cables, and then there's this waste pipe. Now this waste pipe has to stay, and a cover is getting built over it. And then obviously you've got more pipes down here. I think they run down to the hot press. Sorry about my camera not focusing. The lighting is obviously not great in here, but I am actually getting a little electric light in here as well. So I have storage now that is going to be the length, and all I'm doing is getting a floor and then the walls rendered. No, that's not the thing, like sheeted, filled in. So those wooden things, I don't think they'll be exposed, so I won't be banging my head. But it just gives me, I'm not getting any wardrobes or anything put in. I just wanted the space to be, you know, I can put clear containers in here, I can hang shelves if I want, but I just wanted to have a mass of open storage. And then, like, when you come back here, there's the pipe work for the radiator here. So the doors will be nice and big, and they're going to open out this way, so that if I am putting in Christmas decorations, big plastic boxes, if it's any DIY or crafty stuff, it means it's just easier to open. So that's where the doors are going to be. And I had two pieces of furniture. I had a little thing here and I had one here, but I'm probably going to get rid of one of those, and I won't have one probably here. But what I want to do is relook at this area, because I don't use this seating area. So I was going to do a little bit of maybe paper and a desk here, but a desk that can double up as a work desk and makeup desk, and then just rejig this area, because my big plan is I would love to get work done downstairs, but in order to do what I want to do downstairs, I need to create more storage in the house and come up with another work from home solution. So I think I'm going to be rejigging this area after this. So this is the main job, and it is to get lots of storage. It's just such a shame that when the house was originally built, I think this house was originally built in 99, it's just a shame that they didn't do this from the beginning. So if you are getting your attic converted, or if you have a bungalow, don't underestimate the space that is behind the knee wall. A bit messy with pipes and stuff, but yeah, be grand. Now I can hear the kittens actually. I have to keep the kittens out of the room in case they go in just while it's exposed, and I can hear one kitten. Come on. Oh no, oh no. And I was also in the middle of doing the dahlias, and it started raining, so I kind of feel like I am getting absolutely nothing done today. I don't know if you can hear all of that lovely rain. So I thought I might have gotten maybe an hour in the garden, but I feel like all I've done today is wait for it to stop raining. Here's my pile of dahlias. If you can see, it's just mulchy. All the grass is absolutely destroyed. So much for laying grass seed. But yeah, I think this is just one of the joys of gardening when you want to do a bit of tidying up, but it's absolutely bucketing down. So I think I'm gonna have to pause on the dahlia mulching. At least I've got them out, but ideally I need to get them mulched in case we get some frost. There's a lovely dahlia in here. There's 2 tree dahlias that I want to protect, and whatever's in the pots is fine because they can go into the greenhouse. But yeah, it is a bit of a washout. Look, even walking it's really slippy and slidey. And this section over here, remember I pulled up the grass, it's literally mud now. It has gone to mud. You can hear it. But the good thing, oh, hello little pink flower. The good thing about the garden is, while it might be starting to die off and not look as pretty now, we know how it recovers and how it'll look good once again next year. It's just getting to that stage of the year where it's starting to die off. Is that a Christmas wreath behind your head? It is, but it's work. It's work. I'm not putting up Christmas wreaths. So it is the next day. The builders have just finished up for today. They laid a floor, but not the floor. See, this is why I got the professionals to do it, because I thought, oh, you can just put a laminate floor on top of the joists. No, they put in like a thick, I'm gonna say like a thick MDF base, and they were cutting out holes for the wires and stuff. So the good thing is they've showed me where all the wires and stuff are going, because my thing is, if something breaks, how can I fix this? So I said to them, because there's pipes underneath, but I suppose there's pipes in walls that I don't know where they are, and pipes under floors, but I just wanted to know if ever there was a leak, the pipe map. So I actually took a picture so I know how to access the waste pipe, even though I don't think I ever want to access the waste pipe. No. Anyway, they've gone for today, so I am doing, if you saw last week's video, I was making wreaths for the telly, but I also visited the Arboretum. I'm going to put an ad here. They're not sponsoring my YouTube videos, but I just want to declare that I have a relationship with them. So I'm after making this wreath. How cute is that? I'm gonna insert the reel that I've made for them about wreaths, and then I'll give you a behind the scenes. Let's make a winter wreath. If you would prefer to skip foraging for your bits, you can head to this adorable and handy pick and mix station that's in the Urban Green Arboretum. I'm using this mossy base, but you could recycle an old Christmas wreath if you prefer. To make your wreath, you will need a base, your foliage, some wire, a wire cutter or a scissors. I start by wrapping the wire around the base. I then lay the foliage on and wrap the wire around. I then layer on top of this piece while wrapping. I like to use wire instead of glue because it's easier then to take apart, so you can reuse these items down the line if you want to change up your wreath. I also have another example of a wreath using a different base. So if you have an old wreaths, maybe you have a spring one that you want to change up, why not use that base? And you can get creative with all of the dried apples, dried orange slices, all of the little bits, and stick them on. I feel like this vlog is just going to be a random one. So here's the state of, no, let's check in with the babies. Here's the state of my office. Well, you have seen it worse than this. So the babies are asleep on the counter because they've had a hard old day, because they get nervous. Well, do you know what? They're better today. So the banging and everything this morning wasn't as bad. So little Bjug gets scared the most. However, little Bjug decided, I love how I say little Bjug. Bjug is small in Irish, so I'm pretty much saying little small. Little. So she is the one that is the most mischievous. She was the one that actually got into the nook upstairs, and I was like, oh no, what if there's like a entrance way out? But I'll show you, I've covered off upstairs with some plastic sheeting, so hopefully she won't climb in there in the middle of the night. And Bon, I don't know if you can see, I was like, what is on his belly? I'm after hoovering the whole house because I think he has like a bit of soot on his belly. I'm sure Bjug has it too, but because she's darker, you don't notice it. But actually, look how shiny her coat looks in the sunshine. Girl, you've got that healthy coat. Now, let's go inside the kitchen. So I have a box of bits. This is Christmas bits, I apologise. Box of bits that I'm working on with the Arboretum. The table, I've been doing some wreath making, and now I'm just gonna do some small examples for like easy wreaths. So these are the bases that I used for the television slot, and I'm reusing them for Christmas examples. So this one is going to be an easy one because I'm simply wrapping that around that, and then I'm going to do another example. I have this lovely garland. I'll show this to you. I have this lovely garland, which I feel, this is from the Christmas section. This is giving me spring vibes. This is giving spring vibes, and I think that this could possibly stay out all year round. Actually, all of the wreaths that I'm making are not too themey. Like, you could have them as winter wreaths more so than Christmas ones. And then these are some of the dried fruits that I got from the pick and mix station as well. But actually, see that wreath? That's from last year. That is a whole year old, and you can see how the dried fruits have dried out. The only thing that has gone a bit is the moss, but that is from last year. You can see I used cardboard on the back. So that's one from last year. I'm gonna, I can't wait to see, I can't hang it up now. I feel like in the past week I have done like 10 wreaths. I'm all wreathed out. I also need to do, I won't get it done today, but maybe tomorrow. It's kind of hard when there's builders in the house. I need to do a table set up for Christmas, and there's lovely plates and a lovely trinkets and stuff. But I need to just do it. But when there's builders in the house, I don't want them to be like, your table is set up for Christmas. And I'm like, it's just my job. So that's where I'm at. And apologies for this being a very random vlog. It has been a very random week. I started off trying to do some gardening, and now we're on to wreath making and the destruction of my house upstairs. Actually, I'll show you the sheeting upstairs. So not too much to change. I have to say, the guys, there's 2 guys doing this project, and they have been so tidy, so tidy. I brought this out from the shed, and no joke, 10 spiders came out of it, and I was like, nope, I think I'm actually going to put it in here so at least if the spiders come out, those builders can have them. I had to put this up because of the kittens and it might, I don't want it to fall on me, but hang on, I can put my camera through this hole here. So you can see how there's this thicker floor gone in, and see this cable? That cable is an old internet cable, but the guys just wanted to ask me first if they could remove it. So I was like, yeah, because it must be from years and years ago, because there was some old satellite dishes and stuff on the roof that I got removed. So I think it belongs to that. The guys are building me a box to just go around this waste pipe. So you'll almost have to kind of step over it. That can't be moved for whatever reason. I know the builder, when we were doing my bathroom, he put all of the other pipes through the bits of wood, but he was like, he also said about the waste pipe, so it must be something to do with, I think it has to be elevated, I'm not too sure. But there's going to be lots of space up this end. Again, apologies about my camera not zooming, it's the lighting that makes it hard to zoom. So all up here has storage, and all down here will have storage. And then tomorrow the guys are plastering, they're going to insulate and plaster, and then do all of the messy stuff, think putting the doors on, and then he's going to put the laminate floor on last. So I just asked him to get me a floor similar to this, but I'm not too fussy because it's, you're not going to see the door unless you, sorry, you're not going to see the floor unless you go in, and I have lovely big doors, so opening like I said yesterday. So it's just giving me just so much more storage. And like even today I came back from doing a job and I have 2 boxes of craft stuff sitting in the car because I can't bring them into the house because my house is chaos. So I know I always say it, more storage, more clutter, but I am going to do a bit of a declutter before I move anything up. And most of the storage at the moment is from my office and my craft stuff. I'm kind of like outgrowing it, but down the line I think I would like to have like a small studio space or just something with more space. But I will thin out on some of my stuff. Most of the things I make, like today, like when I did a telly, I gave Muir and a wreath. Like I give away a lot of the stuff to friends and family. I try not to do competition giveaways because of the scammers. People are still getting scammed by these scammers. I will never send you unsolicited DMs. I don't even have my DMs open on Instagram. I will never send you an email. So I did a competition for 2 books there, like 2 months ago, for Joanne Condon's book and a copy of mine, and the scammers were straight on it straight away, and I was like, oh my god, it's just so frustrating. So if I do have any excess craft supplies, I'll give them to local charity shop, or I am going to try and have a look and see if there's any crafty groups in the area. I know sometimes schools and stuff will take supplies, but sometimes they can be fussy with what they take. Anyway, here's my waffling. I'm going to make another 2 wreaths now before I clock off. Okay, another behind the scenes. I'm setting up to do like a dinner for 2. I'm going to photograph this. This is part of a job I'm doing for the Arboretum. I am not, sadly, having dinner with anyone right now, but I've just set it up. How pretty are these bits? Let me zoom back out. So this is part of their Christmas campaign. So I just wanted to show a smaller tablescape just for people who have small tables. Maybe they just want to do like a 2-person thing. Maybe they're just having a breakfast. This could obviously be done on a large scale, but I've got a small table. So I'm just setting this up to photograph. I thought these would be nice to do names on them, but I just didn't have time to whip out my Cricut because house is upside down. We have this is a proper behind the scenes. We have the closed donkey because it's raining. Actually, there's great wind outside. Bit of a storm at the moment, which good wind to get them drying, but not warm enough. So they're just in there for the minute. I have the wreaths I made, some foliage, cat litter box. Don't worry, they're not touching. They look closer together than what they actually are. Cardboard box, lots of foliage on the floor, and stuff on the countertops. So this is the glamorous behind the scenes, but I know you guys love a little bit of woodland decor. I love the nature theme. The Arboretum had this last year, and I have a couple of bits from last year. I did like an old Christmas wreath. I upcycled it. So yeah, this is what I'm getting up to this week. A little bit behind the scenes. So ideally, realistically, if you were setting this table up for 4 people, I probably wouldn't have this size charger plate, but these are beautiful, aren't they? They're from the Arboretum. But anytime I've done breakfast in mine for Christmas morning, there would only be like 4 of us anyway, and then I go off for my Christmas dinner where there's more space. I don't do Christmas dinner, thank God. I just don't have the space. Maybe in years to come, my ideal goal would be, I'd love to take this wall down, do a little bit of renovations, and have the whole back wall with lovely doors and windows, and it would give me a bit of space. Like, you still wouldn't get a huge table in, but you'd get something a little bit bigger. But you know what? For the one day of the year, Christmas time, I don't need a massive table, if that makes sense. Irish people, half of us eat our dinner sitting like on the chair and it's on our lap because there'll just be so many people in your house at Christmas. So I know someone who just uses, you know, those foldable tables and just puts a beautiful cloth on it, and you would not know that it's like a fold out table, like a wallpaper table, but a bit more fancy. It's like not even fancy, it's one of those plastic ones. But yeah, here is the little nature critters. So obviously you don't have to have them all together. You could have them on their own. This with some tea lights behind it will be lovely at night time as well. So yeah, I'm going to hoover and get the place a little bit organised before I start photographing this. Okay, Bjorg is going to lead. Oh, and Bon. Would you like to show people a progress update of our nook? So the lads and ladies, little Bjorg, are allowed in now because the floor is all covered over. The plasterboard, is that what you would call it? Actually, I have a little light. Let me turn on the light. Let there be light. So the guys are coming back tomorrow and they're going to skim the walls. So this will be skimmed with, I'm going to assume plaster. I actually just need to make sure little Bon can't get down that little hole. So the waste pipe has been covered over. Yes, the waste pipe is covered over. Oh, these are the cutest assistants ever. Apologies about the shaky camera. I'm using my Canon, which is quite heavy in my hand. So I'm going to... Bon, are you okay? So all of this is getting skimmed tomorrow. Then they're putting down the actual laminate floor, which will be kind of similar to this. And then they're going to do the doors and then put some skirting, not skirting, like architrave. This will have a nice bit of trim on it, which I'll probably paint white. And then the two doors, I'm not sure if the doors are going to be just like a thick MDF or if they're going to be pine or what they're going to be, but I'll more than likely paint the doors depending on the wood. I'm actually going to see if I can, oh yes, come inside. The kittens are like, this is a new place for us. So actually I can get in here up until about here before it slopes down. So it means I can get smaller storage kind of boxes here, and then all, like, I'm thinking anything that's like Christmas or festive, put it down the ends where I'll only access it, you know, once a year. And then, yeah, I should have enough space for any craft supplies and stuff. And I have all this space down here as well. So yeah, and then that's just the back of my bath. So yeah, that's all getting skimmed, and anything pipe wise is easy to access. So waste pipe can be easily accessed, and then the floor will click apart if I need to ever access any pipes or cables underneath here. So yeah, this is how it's looking. Bon was, you might get some microphone close-ups there. Bon was having, he's doing a little catwalk. I am now going to end this random Sunday vlog. Not one bit of gardening was done. However, my builder did say he's going to do my gutters for me before he goes because he'll be finished early. So he's like, if there's any jobs you need doing, I was like, my gutters, and I need my roof checked because my regular viewers will know I have a sneaky leak that's downstairs in the front bedroom. Always happens when there can be really bad weather. So it hasn't happened all summer. We've had a bit of storms, damage and stuff. Oh, thank God. Bjorg. I didn't know where Bjorg went for a minute, and I heard scratching on this and I was like, oh my God, if she's after getting in between the plasterboard, how? But she's just after appearing. So I'm actually going to tie this up. Oh my God, kittens and cats will just scare the living daylights out of you. But yeah, my builder is going to look at the sneaky leak. I have a feeling the membrane or the felt, whatever you call that, you know, when you're roofing. Yeah, because I'm like a roofer. But you'll have a piece of felt. I don't know if it's called felt anymore. It's like a membrane, and then you'll have the tiles on top, because the guys, when they fixed it, I've had 2 guys out fixing it, and they're just doing little jobs. They like, your man was like, he sealed a tile or something, whereas I have a feeling when whatever way the wind is blowing, I think the rain is getting in and the membrane is damaged. So I have a feeling that that's what it is. I am getting all of the odd jobs done, and you know what, it's great. It feels great because they've been on my list for so long. So if you're like me, it's so hard in Ireland to actually get a tradesman. Great for them because they're obviously busy and they're out the door, but not so great if you have odd jobs, because I find it's really hard to get a tradesperson to do odd jobs, like to come out just for one thing. So it's great that I can get a couple of things done, because at least it's worth the builder's while, and it also frees up all of those tasks from my to-do list, or jobs that I needed to get done. Anyway, on Thursday's video, I'll show you the finished results, because it probably will be finished by then, and we can do some DIYing ourselves, but minor DIYing. Bit of painting, bit of door handling, bit of moving things around. Yes, storage. I'll see you in Thursday's video.